After about 1 or 2 weeks, the wine is ready to be stopped fermenting. We think, but we have to check it with a hydrometer. What we're checking is the specific gravity. We use this wine thief and put the hydrometer inside the wine thief. And drop a little bit of wine so that hydrometer starts floating. And the more alcohol in the liquid, the more the hydrometer will sink. And when it sinks to just the right amount, we know there's enough alcohol in the wine. And if you look carefully at that number, it says 0.990. And it's just below that, so the wine is at a specific gravity of 0.992, which is perfect. Now remember in the first show I showed you the ingredients here. We're going to be adding a disinfectant, potassium sorbate, potassium metabisulfite. The potassium sorbate is meant to disinfect or sterilize the yeast to inhibit it, to keep it from growing anymore. We don't want the yeast to grow after we bottled the wine. And this assures that it won't. And we get our certified oak stick and we begin stirring. And the stirring has to happen very vigorously. The purpose for this is to drive out the carbon dioxide that's trapped in the wine. We don't want fizzy wine, do we? And sometimes we have to wait. Otherwise it'll overflow. Now this is going to take around 10 more minutes of stirring. And after we stir it, after we get all the carbon dioxide driven off, we're going to add the isinglass, which is going to make everything settle back down to the bottom. The yeast, any juice particles, any oak flavors particles that have gotten in there from racking, we're going to be settling to the bottom. Sometimes this is the most critical part of the wine. Driving out the carbon dioxide, stirring it so viciously that there's no carbon dioxide left in the wine. The purpose for driving out the carbon dioxide is so that there's not an effervescent flavor to the wine after it's bottled. We want to make sure there's no carbon dioxide left in the wine. Now, carbon dioxide was a byproduct of the yeast eating the sugar and creating alcohol, and the byproduct of that chemical reaction is carbon dioxide. I'm sorry to say that we are contributing to the greenhouse effect, but just a minuscule amount. And next we're going to add the isinglass, which is going to cause everything to settle out. Isinglass is a naturally forming compound derived from shellfish. But if you're allergic to shellfish, don't be afraid, because the proteins in the processing of this material has been killed, so that you will have no effects from any allergies. And stir some more. And that's it. Now we're going to leave this sitting for about 2 or 3 weeks for everything to settle out. And then we're going to filter. And that's what I'm going to show you next.